Hello, this is John Miyares from the USDA NASS Great Lakes Regional Field Office in East Lansing, Michigan. In this presentation, we are going to talk about the conclusion sections and how to wrap up your work when completing the interview for ARMS 2. As a reminder, on the short form we are not doing anything with field location or Apple Maps. This is only critical for the long form ARMS 2. This year, the sample for ARMS Phase 2 will not automatically be carried over to ARMS Phase 3. Typically, long-form ARMS 2 respondents, those who complete the PPCR, will be sampled for ARMS 3. This is not necessarily true for the PPR respondents. There is still a possibility that respondents from Phase 2 will be sampled for Phase 3, but there should be few, if any. Please note, though, that if a Phase 2 operator happens to be selected again for Phase 3 and they refused Phase 2, they are not going to be removed from the Phase 3 sample like we do with the operators who complete the long form. If they refuse ARMS 2, they can still be contacted for ARMS 3. As noted earlier, on the short form of ARMS 2, we are not required to record the latitude and longitude of the field location. That will only be required on the long form, or PPCR, which is not being conducted this year. The records use questions on the conclusion page are for enumerators to answer and not to ask. If the respondent used records to help answer the questions regarding fertilizer and pesticide use, enter a 1 in those cells. If not, enter a 3. Also, be sure to enter the number of table supplements used to complete the interview. If the respondent reported more fertilizer or pesticide applications than could fit on the lines provided in the tables for sections C and D, and supplements were necessary, please be sure to count how many supplements were used and include them in those boxes. Please note that starting in 2020, the CAPI instrument being developed will allow for over 90 fertilizer and pesticide applications to be entered into a single table, making the need for supplements, at least for ARMS 2, a thing of the past. Don't forget to record both the start time and the end time of the interview in military time. For example, 2 p.m. would be reported as 1400 hours or 1400. Be sure to record only time spent with the respondent answering questions. If the respondent provided you copies of spray records to record and transcribe at a separate time from the interview, and you are not actually meeting with the respondent when doing so, do not include that time as part of the time in the interview. Finally, be sure to complete the office use boxes as usual: response code, respondent code, mode code, and enumerator number. Historically, the only valid mode code permitted for use on this survey was 3 for personal interviews. With the expansion of data collection strategies on this survey to include telephone interviews, different codes including 2 for phone and 9 for phoning and CAPI may also be used. In past years, we have asked respondents whether or not they wanted a copy of the results sent to them in the mail. Starting a few years ago, this question was removed from all NASS questionnaires and only now asks respondents to provide an email address to us if they want to receive a copy of the survey results. If the respondent does not have an email address, but still wants to receive a copy of the results, please make a note of it when you are submitting the record in CAPI, and we will do our best to make sure that a hard copy of the survey results are mailed to the respondent from our office. However, please note that mailing hard copies of the survey results should be the exception and not the rule. On this slide, we can see a screenshot of the back page of the ARMS 2 form from a previous year. The layout of this page has not changed since at least 2019. The red stars indicate places where we definitely should have answers filled in by the respondent. As noted on the previous slide, please make sure to record the email address of respondents who want to receive a copy of the survey results, the ending time of the interview in military time, whether or not records were used to help speed up the interview, and how many paper pesticide or fertilizer supplements were used. Do not put any information into the box marked POID. This is not necessary for this survey. As part of a long-standing agreement between USDA NASS and the Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, producers who complete any fall chemical use survey are eligible to earn 2 category credits towards their restricted use pesticide applicator license. Operators are expected to sign and fill out a blue application form, also known as the bubble sheet, which must include their name, their applicator number, the type of certification they have, and the credits that can be earned. The seminar code and seminar date will be provided by the regional field office and will be posted on the Purdue site. Credits can be earned under Category 1A, Commercial Core, or Private Core licenses. Because we are not conducting face-to-face interviews with respondents in 2020, we are not going to be inserting a bubble sheet in with each kit envelope for the Michigan sample. At the end of the interview, enumerators should ask operators whether they want or need the credits being offered by MDARD. Some respondents hire custom applicators to apply their chemicals rather than deal with the hassle of maintaining an applicator license for themselves. Other respondents prefer to take the test offered by the state rather than attend grower meetings that offer credits like the ones they would receive for completing this survey. If they do not want or need the credits, then we don't need to send them anything. However, if they want or need the credits and they completed all of the parts of the survey, including providing fertilizer and spray records and answered the pest management practices questions to the best of their ability, you will need to let the regional field office know to send a respondent a bubble sheet. Once the regional field office receives the request and confirms that the survey data are complete, the regional office will send a bubble sheet to the respondent with instructions on how to complete the form, along with a return envelope to get the form back to East Lansing. Generally, those who are filling out the bubble sheets know how to fill them out, as the same bubble sheets are used when growers attend educational sessions and other grower meetings sponsored by MDARD or MSU Extension. In the event that you want to send the bubble sheet to the respondent yourself, a limited number of bubble sheets can be sent to enumerators in their preschool kits along with the instructions and the seminar codes.